When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
What if Mississippi's community and junior colleges didn't exist? You'd see a much different Mississippi, one without these degrees. And the jobs that come from them. One where many would fail to get a higher education because affordable community and junior college is their only hope. We're in danger of this happening thanks to state budget cuts. In fact, Mississippi once ranked #1 in America's community and junior college systems. #1. But now has slipped out of the top 10, way out, which is already a consequence of budget cuts. So, what if community and junior colleges didn't exist? If budget cuts continue, we may well find out. Contact your legislator and tell them to support Mississippi's community and junior colleges.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We get set for Game 2 here between ICC and Holmes. If you're just now joining us, ICC picked up a 5-3 win in the first game of the day. As that pitch across for a strike, Game 2's opening pitch coming your way at 5:02. A 5:02 Renaissance Bank opening pitch here for Game 2. He calls that one a strike. Well, this guy has a much different cadence than the first one, so we'll have to get adjusted to that there. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball. This is number 31 pitching for the Bulldogs, Jeff Crenshaw, getting the start here. So that pitch missing for a ball. 2-2 now goes the count. For just now joining us in softball action, ICC won Game 1 10-0 over Delta. They're leading 7-2. And there's looking at strike 3, Connor Lewis. And Lewis heads back to the dugout with the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day. So now this is going to be Krieger at the plate. Swings and misses on that high heat there. Crenshaw is 1-2 on the year. This pitch fouled off for a strike. He's thrown 18 innings. He's given up 21 hits, 14 runs, 5 of those earned, 11 walks, 15 strikeouts, a 2.50 ERA. That pitch on the outside corner missing. So this is Krieger at the plate, swings at a curveball and misses for strike 3. So Crenshaw making quick work of the Indians with back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts. And now this is going to be Justin Medlin coming to the plate.
Now batting number 11, Justin Medlin.
And Medlin, took a healthy chop at that one. And takes another healthy chop at that one. Boy, the Indians cannot figure out the puzzle of Crenshaw here early on as he is making quick work of ICC here in the top of the first. And there's strike 3, and Medlin knew it. Crenshaw comes in, thank you, please drive through. As he got a pair of Indians looking and another one swinging at a trio of Renaissance Bank strikeouts to start the contest there. And ICC goes 3 up, 3 down. Let's take a look at today's Coca-Cola starting lineup here for the Indians, and it'll look like this. Connor Lewis will be leading things off for the Indians. He'll be playing shortstop. Krieger will be batting second. He is at third. Justin Medlin will be at first base batting third. Drew Thomas will be the DH batting fourth. It'll be Drake Wallace out in right field batting fifth. Batting sixth, believe will be the catcher, Hunter Neighbors. Batting seventh will be the center fielder, Jackson Lancaster. Batting eighth will be the second baseman, Ray Sandroni. Batting ninth will be left fielder. No, excuse me, that's actually Drake Wallace out in left field, so it would be right field for Trey DeSantis. Pitching for the Indians is going to be Chris Peete. Chris is 3-1 on the year. He's pitched 17 2/3 innings. He's given up 31 hits, 18 runs, 16 of those earned, 4 walks, 16 strikeouts. He has an 8.15 ERA, so he would like to see that shrink by the end of the day.
Leading off for your Bulldogs, number 6, Sage Mullins.
This is going to be Mullins to lead things off here for the Bulldogs. Takes a look at the first pitch. And a diving catch out at center field. What a play. Once again by Jackson Lancaster. It seems like we say it every game. He just goes out there and makes something happen.
Not batting for your Bulldogs, number 22, J.D. Roberts.
This is going to be J.D. Roberts coming to the plate. Roberts, ground ball to the shortstop, throw over in time for the putout, 6-3.
Not batting for your Bulldogs, number 8, Cole Johnson.
This is Cole Johnson at the plate now. He takes that pitch for a strike. And that one across for a strike. Well, you talk about a quiet strike call. This may be the most silent umpire I've ever heard. That pitch low for a ball. So you really got to be watching for his call this afternoon. And it's very lethargic as well. He just stands up and points like, yep, it was a strike. So 1-2 is the count here. Sidearm delivery fouled off, and we'll stay at 1-2. It's 7-2 in game 2 after 4 complete. ICC over Delta. Macy Cox got the start. Mackenzie Toombs now entering to pitch in the 5th. This pitch lifted. Deep left field and gone. See you later. A solo home run with 2 outs, and that's Johnson with the home run. And that one, you knew once it got up, it had a chance to get out of the ballpark, and Johnson wasted little time getting around the bases there. And the Bulldogs take an early 1-0 lead. Now, we do want to remind you here in game 2 of all conference games that they're set for 7 innings. We played 9 in the first game and 7 here in the second. Now, this is going to be Fidanza at the plate. That pitch missing for a ball. That pitch across for a strike. So the Bulldogs getting off to a pretty good start here in the bottom of the first. A solo home run by Johnson with 2 outs. And a ground ball. Third baseman gets it. Throw it across the way in time for the putout. Score that one 5-3 to retire Fidanza. So 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Holmes leads it 1-0 after 1 complete here in Game 2. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as your score 1-0 in favor of Holmes after a solo home run off the
Drew Thomas.
bat of Johnson. Had a meeting between the umpires and the coaches in that exchange, as there was a lot of chirping going on in the first game, a little bit of an exchange between players out there after that home run, and so the umpires called in the coaches and asked them to try to get everything under control. That first pitch missing low for a ball. This is Drew Thomas at the plate for the Indians. Ground ball to the third baseman, blocks it up. It's got a long throw. And did he get him? Yes, he did. Well, it one hopped it over to first. Was able to get him in time for out number 1, so score that one 5-3 on the putout of Thomas. And now up is going to be Drake Wallace.
Number 30, Drake Wallace.
So Wallace will try to start things off here for the Indians. The Indians went down on strikes, all 3 batters in the first, and there's a line drive, and the second baseman didn't catch it but knocks it down. Great play over there at second to get the out. He couldn't catch it, nearly caught it on the line drive on the diving effort. Was able to block it down enough to keep it in front of him and then toss it over to first for the putout. And so quickly 2 away here for the Indians, and now up is going to be Hunter Neighbors, the catcher.
How about him like that, Hunter Neighbors?
So Neighbors will dig in here. And a beautiful breaking pitch across for a strike. We move now to the bottom of the 5th in softball, 7-2 ICC with the lead. Foul ball back. 0-2 now is the count here on Neighbors. Well, it was a game full of drama in the first one. Don't expect any different here in Game 2. That pitch missing outside. 1-2 now is the count here to Neighbors. So waiting the 1-2 pitch here to Hunter. Curveball missing low. 2-2 now is the count. Not a bad spot to miss that time for Crenshaw. See if you couldn't get him to chase one low in the dirt. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the 2nd. Curveball, and it's a beauty. Wow. Missing for a ball. Good looking pitch that time. Thought that one was strike 3. So did the rest of the Bulldogs. But the umpire says the count goes full. And there's a shot. Shortstop makes another great play. Throw over in time. Boy, the Bulldogs are clicking on all cylinders here early on as the Indians go 3 up, 3 down once again on 3 nice plays defensively by the Bulldogs in the top of the 2nd. We're going to take a break and come back with more here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. 1-0, Bulldogs lead. Looking for more here as we move to the bottom of the 2nd inning. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
I could get the extra most bestest with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for $6. Or I could get a pizza with less toppings for more money.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set here for the bottom of the second inning. This will be Lejeune coming to the plate. So Lejeune will try to start things off here for the Bulldogs. Swings on the first pitch he sees. Center fielder's going to come running up and makes the play. So 1 pitch, 1 out. That's what the doctor ordered there for the Indians. And this will be number 14, Warren, coming to the plate.
Matt Warren.
So the atmosphere has really calmed down after the meeting between the coaches and the umpires. Don't know if they handed out any warnings to each team as that ball across for a strike. Pitch in the dirt, missing for a ball. 1-1 now goes the count. Judging by the atmosphere, though, they might have, if they didn't give him a warning, they gave him a very short leash. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. That pitch across for a strike. That pitch in the dirt. 2-1 now. Excuse me, 2-2 now. Goes the count. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And that pitch, missing low for a ball. Pete thought that was strike 3. Didn't get the call. 3-2 now goes the count. Coach DuPont back on the field here for the Bulldogs in game 2 after having to sit out the first game. Line drive, and it's going to sneak its way through. A base hit there for the Bulldogs. A 1-out single for Warren. This is going to bring up number 13. Is that Bruce? Is that how you say that? Burse.
How about it, Bulldogs? Number 13, Jimmy Burse.
So Burse will come to the plate here with 1 out and a runner on first. Snap throw over to first. Not in time. So the Bulldogs lead this 1-0. That was a solo home run by Johnson in the first. Beautiful curveball. Burse couldn't catch up with it. And 0-1 now is the count. Indians have not been able to figure out the puzzle of Crenshaw. They are 0 for 6 through their first 2 innings. Swung on a miss for strike 2 now. And Pete quickly ahead in the count. Sidearm delivery. Pitch is missing low for a ball. 1-2 now goes the count. This is game 2 between ICC and Holmes. This game scheduled for 7 innings. Pitch in the dirt, blocked up nicely. 2-2 now goes the count. And there's strike 3. The first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day got him looking for out number 2 in the inning. And now this will be Tucker.
Josh Tucker.
Will come to the plate here, trying to spark a 2-out rally. That pitch missing low for a ball. That pitch gets away. Runner will be able to advance into scoring position now. Nine to 2. Softball with the lead. As that pitch across for a strike. Two 2-1 is the count. Here to Tucker. Tucker takes a look at that one, and it's across for a strike. So 2-2 now is the count. Once again, we got a pretty generous strike zone here in game 2. As long as they stay same way for both teams, we'll be okay with it. 2-2 pitch coming with 2 outs. There's strike 3. Well, the umpire didn't know if he wanted to call it or not. It was a beauty. It took him a minute to call it. Very lethargic on the strikeout. Back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts there to end the inning and get the Indians out of a small jam in the bottom of the second. 1-0, Bulldogs with the lead here in game 2. We're going to take a break and hear a word from Renaissance Bank and be back with more right after this.
What's better than waiting in line at the bank? Literally everything. Renaissance Bank's mobile check deposit lets you take care of checks wherever you want. Click on Deposit Check in the Renaissance mobile app. Read and hit Continue on the bottom of the notice page. Sign it. Write your name, account number, and for mobile deposit only on the back. Photograph it, front and back, so we know it's real. Type in the amount, choose the account to deposit into, click Continue, and go on your way. You'll receive an email that is being processed, but hold on to the hard copy until the check clears, and then rip it up and throw it away. So what are you waiting for? Download the Renaissance mobile banking app and make waiting in line a thing of the past. Check, phone, check. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Burgers.
7-layer dip.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice cold Coke.
It's got to be cold.
It's Tailgate 101.
And welcome back now as we move to the top of the third inning. Is that pitch in the dirt for a ball? It's 1-0. Holmes with the lead. Final score, I believe, in softball, 11-2. It was Abigail Colvin getting the walk-off single. Abigail seeing her first action of the year. Had missed a lot of the year with a leg injury, so she got to see some action this afternoon in Fulton. Swung on and missed for a strike. That's Lancaster, who's now behind the count, 1-2. Boy, Crenshaw has just got these Indians batters puzzled. And there is another strikeout, the 4th of the game. And this is going to be Ray Sandroni coming to the plate. So Sandroni will dig in. And that pitch across for a strike as well. The Indians looking for their first hit of the day. Crenshaw has handcuffed the Indians here. He's got 4 strikeouts. So that pitch high and outside, missing for a ball. Curveball, and it's a beauty for a strike. Well, if you're the Indians right now, you got to come to the plate knowing you've got to swing the bat. As this strike zone has been consistent, and Crenshaw's just been filling it up. Sandroni fouls that one off, and we'll stay at 1-2. DeSantis is on deck for the Indians. Sandroni at the plate with one out and nobody on. So the 1-2 pitch coming. Grounder, and the pitcher finds it and tosses it over for the putout. 1-3 of Ray Sandroni. Like the pitcher Crenshaw was kind of toying with Sandroni that time, kind of just jogging over. And with Sandroni about 3.5 steps away, just underhand toss to get the putout.
Now batting number 4, Trey DeSantis.
And now this is going to be Trey DeSantis coming to the plate here for the Indians, the right fielder. And the number 9 batter, ICC, still looking for that first hit of the day. That pitch in the dirt, 4-ball. So softball sweeps today. 10-0, we think 11-2. It's the game 2 final. It's that pitch in the dirt, 2-0 now is the count. They'll be back in action on Friday when they play Colin, a big-time conference matchup there on Friday. You can watch it here on the Red Channel. This pitch fouled out of play. And 2-2, I believe, or is it 2-1? 2-1 now goes the count. Crenshaw has made pretty quick work of the Indians so far here in game 2. From the top of the third, ICC trailing 1-0. Grounder up the middle, and finally somebody finds a hit for the Indians. As that was a 2-out single there by DeSantis. Just a return to sender that hopped over the glove of the pitcher. And DeSantis is able to get the first of the day for ICC, and now ICC going to try to spark a 2-out rally. Go back to the top of the lineup here. Connor Lewis, who struck out looking in his first at bat of the day. 2 outs and a runner on first here for the Indians. Throw over to first, not in time. Sun beginning to set here in Goodman. Good day to be in the press box. A beautiful day for baseball, however, is that pitch missing low 4-ball. We talked about in the first game, you got the deans of the MACJC baseball. Coach DuPont and Coach Collier, they've been around a little while. So now throw over to first, not in time. Both coaches north of 500 in wins. We'll be close to each other for the coach with the active coach with the most wins in the league. Got a good bit to go to get the most wins in the league. I think it was a coach out at Delta that has more than 700 wins. I think 721 is the mark. Runner goes. Throw down is in time. Wow, he bobbled the ball. And Coach Collier's not even going to come out and argue the call. Said he tagged him on his foot. Well, if he tagged him on his foot, then he for sure was safe. I was going to say, if he got him on the leg. Huh? That just don't make sense. But either way it goes, it ends the inning. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back. Still don't really know what was called. He kept pointing at his foot. And he kicked it back, but if he tagged him back, and then he bobbled the ball as well. Only thing I can understand is maybe he said he touched the guy's foot instead of the bag. I don't know. Check swing. And it's going to be a foul ball. That's the first break the Indians have kind of got today. The Bulldogs have played extremely well defensively to rob the Indians of some hits, and then when they do get the hit, then they erase him by catching the steal. This is number 27, Ellenberg at the plate. That one missing for a ball. Ellenberg is the number 9 batter. 2-1 is the count. That pitch missing as well. 3-1 now. The count here on Ellenberger, who is starting off the inning. 1-0 is your score. A solo home run in the first by Johnson. The difference in the ball game so far here. That's ball 4. Pete issues his first walk of the game. And so the leadoff runner is on, and we go back to the top of the lineup here for Mullins.
Now batting for your Bulldogs, number 6, Sage Mullins.
And here's a shot. Right fielder having to go back, and it's over the wall. No, it's off the wall. So that's going to drop for a double. Well, the wooden wall, the way the ball went, it looked like it snuck over the top of the fence that time, but it did not. So that's going to drop for a double. An extra base hit, though, for Mullins. And now the Bulldogs got something brewing again here. And this is going to be Roberts coming to the plate. Indians getting someone loose in the bullpen here. As Chris Pete issued a walk to start the inning, then a double off the wall out there in right. And now it'll be Roberts at the plate with no outs, runners on second and third. Bulldogs trying to pick up another run here, and Coach Collier's going to take the slow roll out here to talk to Pete. We'll take a break and come back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
And welcome back, as we do have a pitching change here for the Indians. It'll be Hunter Hughes entering to pitch here for ICC as he'll replace Chris Pete. We'll take a break and come back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Burgers.
7-layer dip.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice-cold Coke.
It's got to be cold.
It's Tailgate 101. The new extra most bestest pizza from Little Caesars is topped with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for the nation's best price. And now for a secret message. Surrender to the toppings. Incredible! Extra most bestest, the most cheese and most pepperoni for just $6.
Pizza.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set here as Hunter Hughes is taking his warm-up tosses. He will come into a tight situation here for the Indians. Runners on second and third. Ellenberg, who walked, reached to third on a double by Mullins. Yeah, that's going to be a strike. Roberts kind of picked up his front foot, also almost as if he was going to try to play kickball that time. So 0-1 is the count here as Hughes has entered a pitch for the Indians. Line drive, and it's off Hughes, and that's going to be in for a base hit. And another run scores for the Bulldogs. So Ellenberg scores, and that's going to be a single for Roberts. And now this is going to be Johnson coming to the plate. Well, this is Johnson. If you're an ICC fan, you don't want to see him do what he did last time. If you're watching in favor of the Bulldogs, you'd love to see a carbon copy of his last hit. A no-doubter to left. Instead, shows the bunt, pulls back on it. The runner will go from first to third on the pass ball. Or from first to second, I should say. So the Bulldogs got one run across. There's still no outs in the inning. That pitch right down the middle for a strike. 1-1 now goes the count. Here on Johnson. Shows bunt, lays it down, squeeze play. Trying to come home, and the ball gets away. The run will score, and the second run will score. And the runner will head to second. So the Bulldogs opening it up here. So that's a fielder's choice E1 that allowed 2 runs to score. That closes the book on Chris Pete. So the right idea that time by Hughes, just maybe put a little bit too much on the throw. Neighbors couldn't quite find it. So now the Bulldogs take a 4-0 lead. Ball in the dirt. This is Fidanza at the plate. He grounded out to third in his first at bat. Still no outs here in the inning. Swung and missed. Couldn't catch up with the low heat that time. Ground ball, shortstop jams him a little bit, throws over to first. And it gets away, and another run will score. Boy, the wheels have come off here in the inning for the Indians. A second straight error now. And it's 5-0 Bulldogs. And guess what? There's still no outs in the inning. Well, we knew the Indians have been playing extremely well all season. Lee Adams and I talked about it on the way down here. How will this team kind of do when they face some adversity? Runner will take second without any issues. We're going to find out. Are the Indians going to have some fight in them? Are they just going to lay down and die this afternoon? 5-0 is the score. Stolen base for Fidanza. Move into scoring position here. Still no outs in the inning. Shows bunt, lays it down, but it goes foul for a strike. Runner will head back to second. Well, that's one thing you know you're going to get when you play a Holmes team. They're going to force you into a lot of tough situations. They like to play small ball and force you to play good on defense. 2 errors already on the inning here for the Indians. 0-2 is the count. That pitch just missing outside. 1-2 now. Goes the count here to Lejeune. Ground ball. Third baseman gets it, looks the runner back to second. Throw over in time for the first out of the inning. Score that one 5-3. For those that may be scoring at home for out number 1 in the inning. And now this will bring Warren to the plate. Warren will dig in with the runner at second. Sees a curveball, fouls it back for strike 1. And he's got someone tossing in the bullpen. Don't know if they'll have Hughes kind of on some pitch count here, because I know he did throw against Gulf Coast. Curveball, and it's going to get through. The hits continue here for the Bulldogs, and they're going to ask the runner to score from second. The throw is up the line, and the Bulldogs now take a 6-0 lead. The second hit of the game for Warren. It results in an RBI. And the hits continue here for the Bulldogs. And ICC looking for any type of traction, just spinning their wheels here. In the bottom of the third, the Bulldogs doing a great job of taking advantage of these opportunities here. They've pushed across 5 and looking for more. So this will be Bruce. Bruce coming to the plate. He struck out looking in his last at bat. Digs in with the runner at first. And takes that first pitch across for a strike. Well, this is a very weird atmosphere, because players have been warned. Coaches have been talked to, and there's a swing and miss for strike 2. So really both the bullpens, who are very active chatter-wise in the first game, other than a few fans occasionally barking, really nothing atmosphere-wise here at the ballpark. 0-2 pitch missing outside for a ball. 1-2 now goes the count with 1 out. Well, you look at the scores over the season for the Bulldogs, they have the ability to put up a lot of runs. And they have done that here, and there's a swinging strike 3. A Renaissance Bank strikeout. First of the game for Hughes. Second time that Bruce has went down on strikes. And now it is going to be Tucker. That pitch across for a strike. 0-1 is the count here to Tucker. Tucker struck out looking to end the second. That pitch inside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, and a runner on first here for the Bulldogs. They've pushed across 5 runs here in the bottom of the third inning. Swung on and missed, as Hughes took a little bit off of that one that time. And the Indians just trying to find the exit on this inning here. Bulldogs want to keep it going. Curveball hangs up. 2-2 now goes the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on first. We're in the bottom of the third. Holmes with a 6-0 lead. This pitch popped up and looks like it's going to get out of play. Yes, it will. We'll stay at 2-2. Remind you, our next baseball game is scheduled for Saturday against Meridian and Fulton at 2 o'clock start there in Fulton. But there is rain in the forecast for the weekend, so you'll be sure to want to follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC for any possible changes. Curveball, missing high. 3-2 now is the count here to Tucker. This is the 9th batter of the inning here for the Bulldogs. This one, luckily foul if you're an ICC fan, as that one had plenty of distance to get out of the ballpark, but nothing but a long, well, actually not even a long strike as we stay at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on first. Ground ball, hard hop on the third baseman, finds it, throws it across the way in time for the putout to end the inning. but the damage done by the Bulldogs. They score 5 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left on base. They lead it 6-0 now, so the Indians got some work to do in this one. Bulldogs trying to make early work of the Indians here in Game 2. We'll take a break and come back right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Indians find themselves in a 6-0 hole here as we move now to the top of the 4th inning. It's been all Bulldogs here in Game 2. And a large part of that has been to the young man on the mound right now, Crenshaw. He has just handcuffed the Indians. He has only allowed 1 hit through the first 9 batters of the game. This is Connor Lewis at the plate. Takes a look at that pitch in the dirt. 2-0 now. Goes the count here to Connor Lewis. Well, the beautiful thing about baseball is there's no time limits. The only way you're regulated is by outs. So you can bat around for a little while. You can start to claw your way back in the ballgame. But for the Indians, you got to do it now, as there's only 7 innings here. We're in the top of the 4th. So that pitch missing low for a ball. 3-0 now is the count. So if you're Indians right now, you'll take a walk, you'll take a hit, you'll take anything. 3-0 pitch coming. That one taken for a strike. 3-1 now is the count here to Lewis. Lewis went down looking part of a 3-up, 3-down top of the 1st. As Crenshaw struck out the side. Ground ball, high hopper, shortstop going to come up, bobbles it, can't barehand it. And that's going to go for an error on the shortstop. And the Indians will take it. They want to try to find a way to get back in this ballgame. It's got to start with base runners. So E6 on the play, and now up is going to be Kyle Krieger. So Krieger will dig in. Swings at the first pitch he sees. Foul ball. Coach Collier making the play over there at third. The barehanded grab. Coach showing that he still got it. 0-1 is the count on that foul ball. A little half-hearted toss over to first. Keeping him honest over there. As that is Connor Lewis at first for the Indians. ICC is got a runner caught trying to steal. That was DeSantis. There was a healthy cut and a miss. 0-2 now is the count here on Kyle Krieger. On deck for the Indians is Justin Medlin. Pitch out that time. 1-2 is the count. One ball, 2 strikes, no outs. That pitch behind the batter. And Lewis will head down to first on the wild pitch. Or excuse me, head down to second on the wild pitch. So he moves into scoring position here. 2-2 is the count, no outs. Krieger at the plate, Medlin on deck here for the Indians. ICC trailing 6-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Curveball, hanger, and it's going to go out to right field. Right fielder's going to squeeze it. It'll be deep enough to allow the runner to advance to third. So now 2 outs. No, excuse me, now 1 out in the inning. And the Indians have a runner in scoring position. This is going to be Justin Medlin, the first baseman, coming to the plate here for the Indians. Medlin up. Thomas on deck. Swings on the first pitch he sees, and this one could drop for a base hit, and it will. And the Indians will get a run on the board. ICC finally gets something positive going their way. A little blooper out to center field by Medlin. That scores Lewis. And ICC is on the board now. 6-1. And this is going to be Drew Thomas, the DH, coming to the plate. A little soft toss over to first, not in time. Drew Thomas is at the plate. Drake Wallace is on deck. And ICC trails now 6-1 here in the bottom of the fourth, or excuse me, top of the fourth. Curve ball that hangs up just a bit too high. 4-ball. And looks like Coach DuPont's going to make a little slow walk out here to talk to his pitcher. We'll take the break with him and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back as the Indians stick with Crenshaw, or excuse me, the Bulldogs stick with Crenshaw. Man, I am even off my game right now. 1-0 is the count. As this is Drew Thomas at the plate. Saw a 5 spot hung on the board in the bottom of the third by the Bulldogs. Indians trying to rally here in the top of the fourth. They've already got 1 run on the board. Now there's a runner on first and 1 out. Thomas at the plate. Curveball drops in for a strike. Drake Wallace is on deck. Toss over to first, keeping him honest. As that's Medlin who had a little blooper out to center field to score the run. That pitch. Wow, where did that one miss? Good looking pitch that time. Called a ball. 2-1 now goes the count. That looked like a better pitch than the last one he called for a strike. So 2-1. Pitch coming. Fouls this one out of play. And now the count goes 2-2. Thomas grounded out to third in his first at bat to start the second. He's going to be followed up by Drake Wallace, who is on deck here for the Indians. So 2-2 is the count. Pitch coming. High. For a ball. Now the count goes full at 3-2. So 3-2 is the count. 1 out and a runner on first here. ICC trailing 6-1. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Good location on that pitch there. That is the 5th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day by Crenshaw. And it's a big out there as that's out number 2. And this is going to be Drake Wallace at the plate here for the Indians. A little quick throw over to first, not in time. Wallace, a 2-sport star this season. Playing football for ICC. Didn't play last year, played baseball only. Played football this year as that pitch missing outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Wallace out of Amory. If Drake were to reach it, it'd be Hunter Neighbors due up next for the Indians. ICC trailing 6-1, trying to get something sparked here in the top of the fourth. Beautiful breaking pitch across for a strike. 1-1 now is the count on Wallace. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, and a runner at first. That pitch high. 2-1 goes the count now. So Wallace trying to come up with a 2-out hit here to keep the inning alive for the Indians. Bulldogs trying to get out of this inning with minimum damage done. Throw over to first, not in time. Pitch coming. Grounder, second baseman, little routine ball. Going to toss it over to short to get the out at second, and that's going to do it. The Indians give 1 run on no hits, 1 error, or excuse me, 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base. 6-1 is your score as we get set to head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's been all Bulldogs here. ICC going to try to find something going for them. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
What if Mississippi's community and junior colleges didn't exist? You'd see a much different Mississippi, one without these degrees. And the jobs that come from them. One where many would fail to get a higher education because affordable community and junior college is their only hope. We're in danger of this happening thanks to state budget cuts. In fact, Mississippi once ranked number 1 in America's community and junior college systems. Number 1. But now has slipped out of the top 10, way out, which is already a consequence of budget cuts. So, what if community and junior colleges didn't exist? If budget cuts continue, we may well find out. Contact your legislator and tell them to support Mississippi's community and junior colleges.
And welcome back to action here as we get set for the bottom of the 4th inning. A 5-run bottom of the 3rd is the difference in the contest right now as the Bulldogs got a solo home run in the bottom of the 1st by Johnson. Then they picked up those 5 runs on 3 hits and 2 critical errors by the Indians. That pitch missing for a ball. It's one thing that Coach Collier's talked about that's kind of been the Achilles heel, if you will, for the Indians this year has been the fact that they have not been able to put up a goose egg in that error column this season. 1 error led to 2 runs, and then another error behind that led to another. Slow roller down to first. And it's going to be a little cat and mouse game here, and he's going to tag him out for out number 1. So that was Ellenberg that was tagged out. Now we go back to the top of the lineup here with Mullins. So that pitch across for a strike. So this is Hunter Hughes, who entered the pitch in place of Chris Pete. Is that pitch missing low and outside for a ball? Chris didn't necessarily do too bad. He just couldn't locate his pitches. Ground ball to second, scooped, throw across the way, and he's safe. Dropped the ball. And that's another error on the Indians. E3. Well, I'm going to tell you now, I've been around Rick Collier for 9 years. It ain't going to be a fun bus ride home for the Indians. So the error puts the runner at first. And infield's trying to shift in. The shortstop gets it, but no throw. And that's going to be a hit, the second of the game for Roberts. You know, you just run into that. You play a lot of baseball games throughout the year, and I've got some Holmes players up here in the ICC Foundation broadcast booth with me. That happens sometimes when you come to the ballpark. Sometimes you just can't do anything right. And the other team gets those small breaks, gets those nice plays defensively that we've seen out of the Bulldogs today. It's frustrating if you're on the wrong side of that, but for the Holmes fans that's watching here, you love it. And that's just been the case here, and you got to give all the credit to the Bulldogs in this game. They've taken advantage of those opportunities. They've forced the Indians in some tough situations, and they've been able to cash in on them. That pitch missing for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. That's the beauty of baseball. You can come out and win 18 in a row, go play a team that hasn't won any, and if you're just not on your game, it's a tough day at the ballpark. 1-1 pitch coming, and there's a flare out to center field, and that's going to drop, and it's going to score a run. And the ball's being bobbled around in the outfield. And luckily for the Indians, the Bulldogs did not recognize that. So that's going to be an RBI single for Johnson. Johnson's had a pretty good game today. His second RBI of the game. That scores Mullins from second. And we're going to have a pitching change here for the Indians. We're going to take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
Quarter-pound junior double cheeseburger with crispy golden tots for just $2.99.
Makes me kind of want to do a double take.
Double the beef.
Double the cheese.
Double the smiles.
Oh, yeah.
For a limited time, get a quarter-pound junior double cheeseburger and tots for just $2.99. This is how you Sonic.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation. Welcome back, as we do have a Choice Pond pitching change here. And this is going to be number 36 coming in for the Indians. That is going to be Clay Houston. Clay coming off an injury. He's only pitched 2 innings this season. So this is really going to be the first significant action he saw in about 3 weeks. Had an ankle injury. And so he will come in here and try to keep the damage to a minimum. Ground ball to second. Booted around, but the throw over is in time to first. So took away an opportunity for a Little Caesars double play, but they did get the out. The second out in the inning. And now this is going to be Lejeune coming to the plate. So Houston getting set to deliver here. Fastball. That's the thing. When you can throw it and chunk it like that, if you can time it up, you can take it for a ride. As that was a long strike, but foul on Lejeune. 0-1 is the count. Runner goes. And they're safe. So stole home that time. Did Roberts. Well, when it's going right, it's going right. And that time the Indians just did not communicate. A double steal in effect there. Executed to perfection, and it's now 8-1. That pitch missing high for a ball. I didn't see what he called that last pitch. And it's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. That pitch missing outside. 3-1 now goes the count. So the 3-1 pitch coming. And he loses him out for a walk. So now runners on the corners here as Lejeune reaches on the walk, and this is going to be Warren. Warren's been a tough out for the Indians here in game 2. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. He does have an RBI. So now ICC seeds the Bulldogs with runners on the corners with 2 outs. (8-1) is your score here in favor of the Bulldogs. Snap throw over to first. High. Couldn't get the tag down, so he's safe. Speaking of the Bulldogs, we just want to welcome all the Holmes fans watching here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. We're going to try to snap throw over to third, and it's just going to be a stolen base for Lejeune, trying to see if they couldn't bait him into throwing to second. And that's what we said. Holmes does that, and they do it great. I've seen it over my 9 years at ICC. They make you think, and once you get kids to thinking, a lot of times they make mistakes. They get frustrated. And in that time, they got the easy stolen base. ICC has committed 3 errors in the game so far. Holmes has just got some type of magic going here in game 2. Ball lifted out to center field. Center fielder's going to drift back. And we'll get it for the final out of the inning. First time that Warren has been retired. But the Bulldogs get 2 more runs on the board. It's been all Holmes here in game 2. We're going to take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
I could get the extra most bestest with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for $6. Or I could get a pizza with less toppings for more money.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza, pizza.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we head now to the top of the 5th inning. Holmes with a commanding 8-1 lead. That pitch missing outside. 4 ball. It'll be Neighbors, Lancaster, and Sandroni scheduled up here in the top of the 5th inning. This game scheduled for 7. That pitch across for a strike. 1-1 now is the count here to Neighbors. Neighbors grounded out to the shortstop on a nice play to end the second. That pitch outside corner, just missing for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. Indians only have 2 hits on the day. They did reach on an error back in the 4th, and that's how they scored the run. That pitch across for a strike. So Neighbors, the catcher here, having to dig in, guard the plate. 3-2 now goes the count here on Hunter. So 3-2 is the count here to Hunter Neighbors. Crenshaw still on the hill here, dealing for the Bulldogs. And that pitch outside for a ball, and that'll be a leadoff walk. Well, the second straight inning, the Indians have got the leadoff runner on. Last inning, it was by an error. This inning, a walk. Only the first walk of the day issued by Crenshaw, and now up is going to be Jackson Lancaster. Lancaster struck out to start the 3rd inning. He was the 4th of 5 Renaissance Bank strikeout victims of the day for Crenshaw. Breaking pitch hangs up high for a ball. Lancaster that time ducked down pretty low. Second baseman wants to come in and just talk to his pitcher here, get him refocused. Crenshaw, for the most part, has been untouchable here in game 2. ICC's only hit him twice. Did reach on an error. That pitch low for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. He started the game off pretty impressively. Got a pair of innings looking at strike 3 and struck out another one to strike out the side to start the first. Got some nice glove work behind him in the second on a trio of ground balls as that pitch across for a strike. Got his 4th strikeout to start the third. Then DeSantis, the number 9 batter, finally got the first hit of the day for the Indians, but he was erased after he was caught stealing. Ground ball, and it's going to get past the second baseman. And they're going to ask the runner to get to third. The throw is going to be cut off, and now the Indians will have runners on the corners, and ICC finally got a ball to sneak through. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars replay as Lancaster gets his first of the day, 3rd hit of the contest for the Indians. And a smart play there to throw off to the cutoff man because there was no play at third, but it did keep the runner at first. And so now this will be Sandroni coming to the plate. ICC trying to get something going here in the top of the 5th. No outs. Runners on the corners. Sandroni grounded out to the pitcher in his first at bat. That was back in the 3rd. That pitch missing low for a ball. As he said, you kind of have to wait on this umpire's call. He's very lethargic in his motions. Whether it be a ball or a strike, he's kind of the same tempo when he raises up. That pitch across for a strike. And 1-1 now is the count. So runner at third for the Indians. And over at first. Sandroni looks at that one low for a ball. So Crenshaw starting to run into a little bit of a hiccup here in the top of the 5th. Pitch coming. Sandroni looks at that one. Oh, catches the outside corner of the plate. Is the strike zone about a good 2.5 inches off the plate on the right side, but he's been consistently there all day. Big looping pitch, just couldn't quite pull the string on the curveball there. 3-2 now goes the count. No outs, runners on first and third here for the Indians. ICC trailing 8-1. Trying to find a way to chip their way back into this one. Ground ball, slow roller. Second baseman. Gonna have to wait for the pitcher to get there. He will, but the run will score. So an RBI on the play. Good job by Crenshaw to hustle over and get that covering first. And now it's 8-2. Runner did advance to second. And now there's one out in the inning, and this is going to be Trey DeSantis. DeSantis singled but was caught stealing to end the third in his first at bat. Lewis is on deck here for the Indians. Curveball, and it's a beauty. Across for a strike. 0-1 is the count here to Trey DeSantis. 8-2 is the score. ICC trying to creep their way back into this one. DeSantis fouls that one off, and behind the count now, 0-2. We'll recap the scoring for you in the exchange of innings here in the 5th. One out. Runner at second here for the Indians. They trail 8-2. This is Trey DeSantis at the plate. 0-2 is the count. Crenshaw getting set to deliver. That pitch inside. Nearly hitting DeSantis. And 1-2 now is the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, and a runner on second here for the Indians. Top of the 5th, game 2 against Holmes. Time is taken by DeSantis. And DeSantis takes time again. Crenshaw just taking a little bit more time than DeSantis likes here. And DuPont's going to come out and talk to his pitcher. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
And welcome back. No change made here. Just trying to calm down Crenshaw a minute. Maybe buy a little bit of time for anybody that might be warming up for the Bulldogs. 1-2 is the count here to Trey DeSantis, a runner at second with one out. And DeSantis takes time again. So waiting the 1-2 offering here from Crenshaw. A curveball that hangs up outside. 2-2 now goes the count. If DeSantis were to reach, or actually the next batter up, is going to be Connor Lewis, the leadoff batter for the Indians. Lewis 0 for 2. And a nice fastball that time. Couldn't catch up with it. And that is the 6th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Crenshaw. So now with 2 outs in the inning and a runner at second, this is going to be Connor Lewis. Lewis reached on an error, advanced on a wild pitch, scored on a single by Medlin back in the 4th. Trying to spark a 2-out rally here from the Indians. They trail 8-2 here in game 2. That pitch hangs up high, 4 ball. "1-0 is the count. 2 outs and a runner on second for the Indians. Lewis couldn't catch up with that one. Great location on that pitch by Crenshaw. He's been getting that outside part of the plate for about 2 inches off the plate. Went a little bit further out that time, knowing that the Indians have to protect that outside part of the plate. 1-1 now is the count. There's a liner over the head of the second baseman. That's going to drop and score a run. Nice 2-out hitting there by Connor Lewis, and ICC gets their 3rd run of the contest, makes it 8-3. Indians not going quietly into the night here in Goodman. First of the day for Lewis. ICC now trails it 8-3, and this is going to be Krieger coming to the plate. Krieger swings on the first pitch he sees, pops it a mile high. Right fielder going over, camps underneath it, and squeezes it for the final out of the inning. But the Indians are able to get 2 on the board there, and they make it an 8-3 contest as Krieger retired for the 2nd straight time out in right field. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Hey Mississippi, let's fill the gap. Did you know Mississippi's community and junior colleges fill the gap between high school and skilled careers? Or that community and junior colleges are also a great value to students? It's true. Not only can they get degrees in these fields, they can actually afford the tuition to get them there. And did you realize that 96% of the state's community and junior college students are Mississippians? Not only that, they tend to stay in the state when they're done with college. And the more students that do so, the more skilled workers we'll have to fill the gap for jobs. And the more people to fill the job gaps, the more money stays in the state. Plus, the value of community and junior colleges in Mississippi is unbeatable. For every dollar the state puts into community and junior colleges, it gets $4.86 back, an almost 5-to-1 return on investment. So, come on, Mississippi. Contact your legislator and tell them to support Mississippi's community and junior colleges. And let's fill the gap.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Burgers.
7-layer dip.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice-cold Coke.
It's got to be cold.
It's Tailgate 101.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to start here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 8-3 is the lead here in favor of the Bulldogs. And return to sender on the ground ball there. A leadoff single by the Bulldogs starts the inning. And this is going to be Tucker now coming to the plate. It's just been one of those days. If you're an ICC fan, you just tip your cap to the Bulldogs. They have done everything right today. They've hit the ball. They've come up with timely hitting. Crenshaw has pitched well. He's given up a few hits and some runs here and there, but he's got plenty of run support to be able to work a little bit easier in this second game. Throw over to first, not in time. For just now joining us, ICC won the first game, and it was a battle, one of those classic JUCO battles. ICC won that by the final score of 5-3. Each team had 11 hits on the day. Big, healthy swing that time, but Tucker comes up empty for a strike. We do want to say a special hello to those that are watching in favor of the Bulldogs this afternoon, and a special hello, as always, to the ICC family watching here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Snap throw over to first, not in time. This is Clay Houston on the mound here for the Indians, seeing his first action in quite a while. He was out with an ankle injury. Fastball, check swing, and he fouled it off for strike 2. ICC does have somebody starting to get loose in the bullpen. In this case right now, ICC getting someone loose, you might be trying to save some pitches. Almost kind of just, as he said, tipping your hat to the Bulldogs, and you had us in this one. Save some pitches as we got Meridian coming up, scheduled for Saturday back in Fulton. That's going to be a 2 p.m. start. Snap, throw down to second, not in time. As the throw was up the third base sign. If he throws it more up towards first, probably would have had enough time to get him. But instead, a stolen base puts the runner now in scoring position. And once again, the Bulldogs just can't seem to do any wrong here in game 2. So 0-2 is the count. Swung on and missed for strike 3. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there of Tucker. The first of the game for Houston. And now there's one out, runner at second, and the Bulldogs with an 8-3 lead. This is Ellenberg. He got the big inning started for the Bulldogs back in the third. That was a 5-run third inning. Foul ball, strike 1. Ellenberg started the inning off with a walk. Eventually came around to score. And he got the merry-go-round going in that inning. 9 batters came to bat in the third for the Bulldogs. They were able to score 5 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors. So Ellenberg steps in and out. Sun setting here in Goodman, a very nice ballpark here. A lot of great baseball games have been played out here. As that pitch missing outside, snap throw back to second. Second baseman dives in to stop it. I don't think he was really expecting the throw to come down to second that time. So 1 out. 1-1 is the count here to Ellenberg. We're in the bottom of the 5th. 8-3, Bulldogs with the lead. That pitch finds the inside corner of the plate for a strike. 1-2 now. Goes the count here to Ellenberg. He grounded out to the pitcher. That was Hughes. And there's a ground ball, foul ball, and we'll stay at 1-2. So he said he walked back in the third. So he is 0 for 1 with a walk this afternoon and a run scored. So 1-2 is the count. 1 out and a runner on second here for the Bulldogs. They lead 8-3 in the 5th. Swung on and missed for strike 3. The second straight Renaissance Bank strikeout here for Houston. And now there's 2 away as we go back to the top of the lineup here in Mullins. Mullins is 1 for 3 on the day. He doubled, scored a run, reached on an error, also scored a run. So he's been productive at the plate this afternoon for the Bulldogs. That pitch inside corner, missing for a ball. 2 outs now in the inning, runner at second. Game 2 between ICC and Holmes here in Goodman. Little slow roller. Houston gets it, tosses over, and gets the out for the 3rd out in the inning. Nice job that time by Clay Houston. Defending his position, able to go down and get that one and get the soft toss over. Little routine play, but when you're standing north of 6'2", it makes it pretty hard when you have to go down that far to get a ground ball. He was able to get the toss over, 1-3 for the putout for those of you scoring at home. The score, 8-3 after 5. Holmes with the lead. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back. 8-3 is your score here. We have a Bank of Okolona scoreboard update as Hines defeated Jones in 10 innings. What did you say, 105-2? Oh, 5-4. Yeah, that's a lot closer than that, I was thinking. 6-5. Make up your mind. Oh, Sean Wansley. But either way it goes, Hines knocks off Jones. Were they ranked #1 in the country? Or they're #2? #3, that's right. Mesa, Arizona moved into that #1 spot. LSU Eunice was 2. So a big game there. So that'd be the #3 team in the country losing one. And if the Indians can't find a way to rally, it'll be the #5 team in the country also losing here. This is Hayden Palmer batting for the Indians, batting in place of Medlin. Looks at that pitch, low for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. Crenshaw still on the hill here for the Bulldogs. This pitch well, had some pretty good defense behind him to go along with it. 2-1 offering, it's in the dirt. 3-1 now is the count. So 3-1 is the count here to Palmer. Pitch coming. That one's across for a strike. Nice job coming back and finding the zone there. Palmer taking the whole way. So 3-2 count. And Palmer chases ball 4 for the strikeout. Another Renaissance Bank strikeout. Strikeout number 7 for Crenshaw. Now with 1 out in the inning, this will be Drew Thomas coming to the plate. Thomas is 0 for 2. Struck out for the second out of the 4th. Grounded out to 3rd for the first out of the 2nd. Curveball couldn't quite get on top of it enough to break into the zone. That's ball 1. Fastball lifted. Center fielder is going to chase over and makes the play. Nice play out there in center field. Had a feed on it. Was able to go out, make the catch, and then just came up to a sliding stop. Get a little few extra style points out there in center field. And now there's 2 away. And this is going to be Drake Wallace coming to the plate. Drake looking for his first hit of the afternoon. He grounded out to second to end the 4th. And guess what? Grounded out to second in his first at bat of the day, so at least he's consistent. So 2 outs as Wallace will come to the plate with nobody on. That pitch just a bit outside. Ball 1. This pitch fouled back as Wallace looked that one to send it down to the old red schoolhouse. He took a big healthy chop at that one. 1-1 now is the count with 2 outs. That pitch. I think you're starting to see Crenshaw get a little tired here. As he's trying to go the distance for the Bulldogs. That pitch, a beauty. Comes right back across for a strike. 2-2 now is the count here on Wallace. 2 outs, nobody on here for the Indians. ICC trying to avoid a 3-up, 3-down inning here in the top of the 6th. And Wallace swings at a nasty one. I don't know what Wallace is arguing there or asking the umpire, but he was struck out swinging, tagged out by the catcher to end the inning there. Hey, you know what? I'm sorry, ICC fans, but that's almost the perfect summary of Game 2 this afternoon here in Goodman. It has been all Bulldogs. They have dominated this game from the opening start, and the Indians got punched in the mouth, and they haven't been able to respond. 8-3 is your score. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Sonic Nights is the highlight of the summer.
Oh, yeah. There's probably some pretty big names here checking out these half-price floats.
Oh, everyone who's anyone is here tonight. Look, there are those 2 guys.
What are they famous for?
Huh. I think for eating here all the time.
Are we good at eating here or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
For a limited time, get real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats half price after 8 p.m. during Sonic Nights. This is how you Sonic.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back, as we do have a Choice Pawn pitching change here. This is going to be Dayton Butler entering to pitch for the Indians, and then we do have a position change as well. Hayden Palmer will stay in the game, and he's now at first base. So those are your changes being brought to you by Choice Pawn. Need a pawn loan? Make the right choice. Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. ChoicePawn.com. So to be scheduled up, the 2-3-4 batters for the Bulldogs, Roberts, Johnson, and Fidenza. Had that wrote down earlier. I was doing good all day, and then I messed up his name there. And so this is going to be Roberts coming to the plate. Roberts has been a tough out today. He's 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. He scored a couple of runs, also drove one in. As that pitch fouled back for strike 1. Take a look at some Sonic stats on Butler as he gets set to deliver this pitch here inside for a ball. Dayton Butler, this is his second appearance. Didn't get through his first one, as he does have a clean ERA, as he has one appearance, and in that appearance he has a walk. Didn't give up any hits, so apparently he's only seen one batter this season. This pitch fouled off towards softball. 2-2 now is the count here on Roberts. Well, I'll tell you what, after today, Butler can throw some pretty good innings here. Might be able to earn a little bit more time. As that pitch drifting outside. 3-2 now goes the count. 8-3 is your score. Bulldogs with the lead. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Ground ball, foul ball. We'll stay at 3-2. Remind you, our next broadcast will be Friday. Softball against Colin. As this pitch fouled back, we'll stay at 3-2 once again. That Renaissance Bank opening pitch scheduled for 2 o'clock. Softball winners of 2 today. They won 10-0 and 11-2 in 5 innings over Mississippi Delta. That was their annual breast cancer awareness game. Raphael Henry had the call of that one on the Blue Channel. This pitch popped up out to left field. Left footer go over and squeeze it for the putout. Out number 1. And here comes trouble. And that's in the form of Johnson. He had a solo home run to start things in the first. Reached on a fielder's choice and an error. Eventually came around to score a run. He singled and drove in a run, stole a base. So every time he's been at the plate today, something good has happened for the Bulldogs. That pitch in the dirt for a ball. Our next baseball broadcast is scheduled to be Saturday. But there is rain in the forecast. So 2-0 now is after that pitch missing low. So you'll want to be sure and follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC to make sure that game is still on as scheduled. That pitch missing outside. 3-0 now is the count. Of course, we've got the ICC Invitational going on, the 5th event of the MACJC Spring Golf Tour. Is that pitch inside? Wow, called a strike. Maybe a little bit of a favor there from the umpire. 3-1 now is the count with 1 out.
Yeah.
And there's ball 4. So Johnson will get the free pass. And now this is going to be Fidanza coming to the plate. 8-3 is your score. Snap throw to first was close, but he was able to dive back safely. That pitch missing low for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Well, a lot of the fans sticking around here for this one. Imagine if the sun does eventually tuck away here in Goodman, you'll start seeing a few folks head for the warmer side of things. Is that pitch in the dirt for a ball? Swung on and miss. Looked to do something big with that one. The ball just a little bit lower than he was anticipating. 2-1 now goes the count. Ground ball, foul ball. 2-2 now goes the count. 1 out and a runner at first. 8-3 is the score in favor of the Bulldogs. Tell you what, anything coming over to first right now is going to be difficult as you're looking right back into the sun. Each time the catcher looks towards the dugout trying to get the signals, he's having to block the sun when he looks. Runner goes, ball in the dirt, no throw. So 1 out and a runner on second. Pitch coming, and there's strike 3. Nicely done that time by Butler, getting his first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game and of his career. And for the second out, and this is now going to be Lejeune coming to the plate. Fastball couldn't catch up with it. Swinging, strike 1. Remind everyone, we'll have the Renaissance Bank postgame report coming your way here at the conclusion of today's ball game. Curveball, this is a beauty. Oh, my goodness. The one time he has not called a curveball for a strike today. 1-1 now is the count. Two outs and a runner on second. Ground ball right up the middle. Second baseman boots it. And then not paying attention. They're going to try to score the run, but look, and then the ball comes free. And then the runner wisely goes to second. He basically drop kicked the ball out of his hand. And Drew Thomas, or even though that's not Thomas, that was Neighbors talking to him. The umpire, he was right on top of it, so if he's going to call it, he was going to call it. And he's not going to. As his slide was directed at the glove instead of the plate. And Coach Collier's going to get his money's worth on this one. Now he's really going to get his money's worth. Keep the wide angle in this situation. That's Coach Collier. Obviously, these arguments are going to fall on deaf ears here with the home plate umpire. Well, apparently the home plate umpire thinks that Coach Collier has an argument because he's letting him talk and talk and talk. Usually if you don't agree with the coach, you quickly say, get back to the dugout. But I got to agree with Rick on this one. As the slide, the kid did aim for the glove. The throw was there in plenty of time. So a break there for the Bulldogs, scores the 9th run of the game. And the runner wisely advanced to second on the throw. And Coach Collier going to come out and talk to the infield umpire. The infield umpire is not even want to hear from him. And now they're going to talk amongst themselves here at the ballpark. Well, and that didn't take very long. They'll come back and talk that one over. I have a feeling Coach Collier is going to want to see the film on that one, and when he sees it, he's going to probably send it to that umpire there, because that was a deliberate slide into the glove, or actually didn't really slide. He just kind of drop kicked the glove that time to jar the ball loose. Fly ball out to center field. Trouble here, and it's going to drop. When it rains, it pours, and it's pouring on the Indians here. That will score the 10th run of the ball game there for the Bulldogs. And that's going to be a single. What did we score that for Lejeune a while ago? The batter before that. E4. And there's going to be a shot. Right fielder waits the diving grab. Finally, the Indian ends for the Indians on a nice play out there in right field. A diving catch stops the bleeding, but not before the Bulldogs hang 2 more on the board. We'll take a break and be back with more. ICC trails at 10-3 here in Goodman in Game 2. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
I could get the extra most bestest with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for $6. Or I could get a pizza with less toppings for more money.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza, pizza.
And welcome back. This is going to be Hunter Neighbors to lead things off here for the Indians. We're in the top of the 7th. Bulldogs trying to close the door on this one as they lead it 10-3. And not being negative for the ICC fans watching, but the way the game's going today, the Indians just not really have any type of spark as that pitch across for a strike. 1-1 now is the count here on Neighbors. And it's nothing against the Indians in this case. It's just been a great performance by the Bulldogs here in Game 2. Curveball missing for ball 2. They've been able to come out today, force some issues. The Indians have committed 4 errors on the day. That pitch inside for a strike. And 2-2 now is the count. So give credit where credit's due. The Bulldogs have done what it takes to win the ball game, especially after dropping a battle 5-3 in the first game. As the count now goes full 3-2 here to Neighbors. Neighbors fouls this one off and out of play, and will stay at 3-2. This is still Crenshaw on the hill here, trying to go the distance, get the complete game win here in Game 2. Curveball missing for ball 4. Second time that Neighbors has reached on a walk today. Last time he did, he was able to score a run. And this is Jackson Lancaster coming to the plate here for the Indians with a runner on first and no outs. Top of the 7th. ICC trailing 10-3 here in Game 2. Ground ball. Throw. That may show how this game has went. He bounced the ball to second, nearly turned a double play, so a fielder's choice is how Lancaster will reach. The throw pulled the first baseman off the bag. And this is Hall. So that erases Neighbors. And Hall will be batting in place of Sandroni. So 10-3 is your score. There's a runner on first. And this is Hall at the plate. And we're missing for a ball. This pitch fouled back and out of play. 1-1 now goes to count here on Jacob Hall. Trey DeSantis is on deck for the Indians. That pitch finds the outside corner of the plate for a strike. 1-2 now is the count. And this foul ball. And we'll stay at 1-2. Well, those that are watching here for Holmes, we want to say congratulations to the Bulldogs. They advanced to the NJCAA National Tournament. Lost in the first round, but still had a good showing and represented the MACJC well. Waiting on the 1-2 pitch here. That pitch up high for a ball. 2-1 now. Or excuse me, 2-2 now. Goes the count here on Hall. Well, the lights are starting to come on here in Goodman. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3. That is the the ninth Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Crenshaw. And now this is going to be DeSantis coming to the plate. DeSantis, boy, he left no doubt on that swing. Comes up empty, 0-1. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. One ball, one strike, 2 outs, and nobody on here for the Indians. This pitch popped back and out of play. And now we go 1-2. So the Bulldogs just 1 out away from closing the door on this one in a complete game for Crenshaw. And the 1-2 pitch coming. Swung on and missed for strike 3. The 10th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Crenshaw. What a performance by Crenshaw. He strikes out 10 and goes the distance to get the win here in Game 2. Your final score, 10-3 here in Game 2, as there's a split between Holmes and ICC here in Goodman. Indians fall 10-3 here in the nightcap in Game 2. And we're going to do it here for today's broadcast. For Lee Adams, I'm Adam Gore. We'll see you next time here on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.